I believe we're going to get really good health care. Exciting things happened over the last 24 hours. If the Republicans and the Democrats get together, we are going to end up with incredible health care, which is the way it should have been from day one. And it's going to happen. It now has a chance to happen.
President Trump sounding off on a federal judge's ruling that Obamacare is unconstitutional.
So what does this mean for the controversial law, and what exactly is going to happen next?
Here now to weigh in is former Republican nominee for California Attorney General Judge Stephen Bailey. Thank you for your time this morning. So break it down for us. What does this mean?
Well, what it means is that the matter will now go up to the Court of Appeal and for the 5th District, ultimately to the United States Supreme Court. It'll probably take some 2 years for this process to wind up to the United States Supreme Court. The whole issue that is presented by the judge is the inability to separate the individual mandate from the rest of the law. And when you can't separate that, it required the judge to then find the law to be totally unconstitutional.
The Supreme Court's looking more conservative these days. If it gets that far, what do you think they're going to have to say?
Well, I think the court's going to find that, as Judge O'Connor found, that the individual mandate cannot stand on its own under the taxing power, because Congress in the tax reform of 2017 eliminated the tax that which was really the penalty that had been part of the individual mandate. The individual mandate required healthy people to buy insurance, and if they didn't buy the insurance, the tax provision of the penalty, which Chief Justice Roberts found to be a tax, would then kick in to require those healthy people to pay into the U.S. Treasury. Well, with no tax provision in there, because Congress has eliminated the tax, there's nothing constitutional to underpin the law. And so the Supreme Court in 2012 had said the law couldn't stand on the Commerce Clause. It now can't stand under the taxation powers for Congress, and consequently it has no constitutional underpinning, and that's why the judge had to find it unconstitutional.
So there's a quote here from the Attorney General in California, and it reads, quote, "The ACA has already survived more than 70 unsuccessful repeal attempts and withstood scrutiny in the Supreme Court. This misguided ruling will not deter us. Our coalition will continue to fight in court for the health and well-being of all Americans." Something you said kind of struck me. You said a couple years. You said about 2 years specifically. If that's the case, what does this mean for 2020?
It means it's going to be an issue that the American people are going to end up deciding. I think the president is on the right track. Congress needs to get together and fix this law, because what we have is a law that is being found progressively as we take these cases to court. Individual provisions are falling to the side as being unconstitutional. And now the key provision, which was the individual mandate, is now being declared unconstitutional. It's now up to Congress to fix the problem.
Yeah, but how do you fund health care for everybody without healthy people paying into the system? It's a dollars and cents game, and nobody has an answer to that. So that's what they got to figure out, and that's a big question. Judge, thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.